Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Chat South Africa with Pammy T. So the MK has been trending lately, from the public squabbles between Duduzile Zuma and Floyd Shivambu, to Advocate Hlophe being accused of sexual misconduct, to the Sona speech that had apparently been written by Floyd for Advocate Hlophe, which was a total bore and disaster, which led to commanders raising their voices even more when it came to the Floyd must go issue. But for now, we'll be taking a U-turn. All eyes and ears off the MK party for a moment and back on Mbuyiseni Ndlozi. So this guy's conduct steals my heart all the time. He's very articulate, very calm, and his way of responding is always very clear to understand. Even when he's answering very uncomfortable questions meant to undermine him, he puts a twist on the whole thing and comes out the shining star in the matter. So since having resigned from the EFF, I know that he's done 2 interviews that I'm aware of. One was done with the SABC and one was done with DJ Sbu on his Hustlers podcast. For me, definitely the eye-opener was the one done with the SABC. Now, the reason for that is because that was the first interview, as far as I'm concerned, that he had done. So a lot of people were anticipating, what does he have to say? What really happened within the EFF? And, he was answering some questions there. And, he brought us more to light on what exactly the situation was where he was concerned within the EFF. So we understand that Ndlozi was suspended while he was still within the party, right? He was suspended for having kept some information that could harm the political party, harm the EFF. So Ndlozi's response to that was that it wasn't his place to inform Julius Malema, Julius being the EFF party president.
I was suspended about 6 weeks before the conference. On the one hand, the leadership said that it's in possession of an intelligence report in which they claim that I'm part of the infiltration strategy by the MKP. I'm working with the MKP. I'm planning to go to join them. I'm waiting for some opportune moment. The second one largely rested on the fact that I knew about the then Deputy President Floyd Shivambu's departure. Of course, I can state categorically now that I never planned to join the MKP. I still don't. I never worked with anybody in the MKP in relation to some conspiracy about my departure. And I think that whatever information they say they have was based largely on lies. Secondly, I did know about the departure of Floyd Shivambu. He did come to tell me of his consideration, and indeed I did tell him that, look, you would have to take the leadership into confidence, and he did. The idea that I should have ran behind his back and informed other people or the leadership suggests that I'm an informant, a gossiper, or a wedge driver. I am none of those.
In all honesty, Ndlozi is cut from a very different cloth. When it comes to morals, the guy has presented himself as someone who is very high on morals. So this was proven yet again when Advocate Dalimbofu tweeted, "What a week. Now I know why they say a week is a long time in politics. In the middle of everything else, the SG and I, Floyd Shivambu and himself, found time to break bread with the one who sings beautifully. Maybe we should co-author the long-awaited bestseller book entitled The 3 Betrayers, with 3 laughing emojis." To which Ndlozi responded by tweeting, "So petty, I totally reject this tweet, both its letter and its spirit." So I'm going to give my own views and opinions on this tweet in another video. I don't want to extend this video to make it too long. So Ndlozi has mostly been an unpredictable puzzle, because even Prince Mashele at some point spoke of how Ndlozi wouldn't cope outside of the EFF, and how he basically had nowhere to go if he would leave the AFF.
Oh, Dr. Ndlozi, by the way, I feel sorry for the chap with his PhD. He is no longer trusted by Julius. It's very clear. Anybody who has eyes can see. At some point, was prominent as a spokesperson, was removed. And you can see that he is struggling currently in the EFF to locate himself. And he has very little options, by the way. If he leaves the EFF, where does he go? He goes to MK. He is intelligent. He can see that this MK thing is not sustainable. So it's very risky. And remember, he receives a salary from Parliament via the EFF. And the salary is important. If Dr. Ndlozi loses his salary, he's going to be in serious problems. So that's the first option is going to MK. He will not go. Number two, the other option is to go and find a job in society. What kind of a job do you think Dr. Ndlozi can? The chap has never worked. So the idea of waking up in the morning, going to a company somewhere and doing work and you have deliverables, he has no idea of that. So he can't work. The best maybe you could say he can do is to
Business.
teach. Is to teach
Business.
as an academic. No, I'll come to business.
Okay.
Even teaching, by the way, I have taught at university. I know how it works. You start by being a tutor, like a junior tutor, and you go up. Before you become a professor, my goodness, you've gone through a lot. He can't do that. He hasn't done that. Business. What kind of business? What kind of business? You can't wake up because you have failed in politics and you say, I'm a businessman. You know, Espu, you are a businessman. It's not glamorous to be a businessman.
I sell in the streets every day.
Exactly.
And then I double up with simping in the office and all
Exactly.
this. So basically, you are solving problems every day.
If you are not a businessman in your blood, you can't just wake up and say you're going to business. So if this guy wants to sell in the street, let him try. He will see it's very tough. So the options are limited, and he's aware of it. So what will he do? He will stick around in the EFF unhappily for the longest time in order for him to receive a salary. I feel very sorry for him.
So Prince Mashele has said a mouthful on that interview with DJ Sbu. So I agree where he says Ndlozi stayed at the EFF unhappily and he was no longer trusted by Julius Malema. And there, I 100% agree with him. But I totally disagree with him on viewing Ndlozi as someone who had very little options on where to go after he had left the EFF. So yes, Ndlozi finally made his goodbyes to the EFF, but immediately after leaving, most political parties had their eyes wide open, and their arms as well, wide open to receive him. He made a slight compliment towards Cyril Ramaphosa, and most people were certain that he was ready to join the ANC. But Ndlozi has also responded to that.
In a decision to step away completely from party politics.
So since he says he's taken a step away from politics, what exactly does the future hold for Ndlozi? Where does he intend on going to next?
I will be, from the 3rd of March, the new host of Power Talk from 9 to 12 on Power FM, and I'm looking forward to all your contribution. Nah.
So in my view, Ndlozi didn't stab Julius in the back. He was literally pushed out of the EFF. Furthermore, he could have been bitter and made decisions that would crush Julius even more. But he did the opposite. Instead, he stepped away from politics as a whole. That says a lot about the man's character. So give that man a bells.